Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Marshall here, and this is Shoulder, a ranked 1v1 map, which doesn't look like how I remember it. Wink. That's spoilers for any of you folks paying attention, even though I just telegraphed it massively. Anyway, it's 1v1 ranked between Nimzo in orange and Clopse in green. Both of these players pretty damn good. Definitely around the Uber level. Nimzo most certainly. I think Clopse gets to Uber as well. I don't monitor the ladders too much, but they're definitely, you know, top of the leaderboards, as it were. Now, spawning in. So Clopse is on the south spawn. Nimzo on the north. We can see them in the pictures there. Both players going for bots, Clopse going air bots, Nimzo going double air. Into bots, into vehicles thereafter. Now it should be noted that you get 5 metal in your spawn on this map, which is kind of handy. And Nimzo going for a boom bot first, so he's going to try and snipe some fabricators early on. But yeah, you get a nice enclave as well, this little shoulder, as it were, of mountains, which guard you. But your immediate expansion is on the other side of them. Between the bases there's limited metal. Most of it is around the rest of the planet there. It's the same here with Clopse. Getting up is second bot factory there after no power at all. So metal bots. Then into the power with his commander. Here comes Nimzo's boombot. Careful for that. Nimzo doing the same. Factory metal factory into power. Should be noted after doing that generally you have to build a few extra power just to catch up. Going 3 fabs for Nimzo and 2 for Clopse. Looks like he's going, instead of a 3rd fab... Ah! Ah! The boombot got both fabs! That's disgusting! That's disgusting! Can Clopse make Nimzo pay for that? That was disgusting. Oh. I'm very lucky. Aha, but here we go. The air fab from Clopse. If he can get that out there without it being seen, he can make it pay for itself. Now this is something you don't see very often, but I think we're going to see it increasingly in the new patch. Icarus used for early game defense. They sort of pick off docks quite nicely. Previously they weren't really used for this. Their movement speed and stuff like that was just too slow, so they couldn't really be used as sentry planes. Look at this, even being very aggressive with this Icarus here from Nimzo. You don't see this every day. And this was exactly the intention of the balance. Ah, here we go. Clopse's air fab over there, straying. And a second one. Oh! Fortunately, Icarus don't have a very large vision radius, as we can see here. They're coming in around the back, sees a load of fabs expanding on their own. In comes the Icarus. Can it snipe the fabs before the Galata gets up? The answer to that question is no, it cannot. But he tried. Didn't stop him trying. But they will pick off this air fab though as they go back. Surely, surely, surely. The Firefly is there, getting a nice good bit of vision over everything. Meanwhile, Clopse's commander just assisting out the air factory. That's not what I would have expected. I would have expected a few more factories by now. Really? I think that was a misclick there for the power storage. And straight into T2. Clopse really mixing things up with this build. Nimzo about ready to move on to his 4th factory. Followed by 2 P-gens, then an air, then a P-gen, then a vehicles. So still following his build from before. Clopse desperately trying to stay in the air game, hence the air factory boost. I'm still very, very surprised by this. I got a couple of fabs. Risky fabs. See that, Clopse, please. the threat doesn't end there. Nimzo now moving in with docks and sparks on the front here. Bomber can come and deal with this, but they're all so spread out that it's just going to take it an age to do anything. Coming around the back to poach off this Fabber, I'm sure. Clopse desperately trying to get up some power. He hasn't, of course, gone for the Icarus, but he has gone instead for air fabs, which are very power intensive. When you use those, you have to be mindful of that extra power that they draw, because it is a lot. Nimzo doing a good job here of just sending out these small raiding forces. Doesn't need to be too large, but just enough to break little positions like that, which were a little bit aggressive, unnecessarily forward, as it were. Ho, 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 ho. That's just out of sight. Look at that. So Clopse with his air fabs. I mean, they're drawing a lot of power all game, and they really are stunting his base growth. That being said, he's halfway up to his T2. Nimzo only just starting it and building it very slowly. As long as Clopse can actually go and do some damage to Nimzo's economy, he might slow that T2 down. But currently, the bottleneck is Nimzo's power, not his metal, which he is floating hideously. So Clopse does need to find a way of raiding this. His air fabs have been seen, and they are being picked off. Might be a time to retire those, perchance. But he's got all of this metal around the back of his base that he hasn't claimed. Again, same for Clopse. The power is the bottleneck, not the metal. He's been using a lot of combat fabs for a lot of tree economy reclaim, which is what's been keeping his economy afloat for the time being. But Nimzo doing a good job of preventing Clopse's expansion round to the rear of this planet here. And continuing to raid it. Also good. Looks like Clopse is answering in kind. Take that factory down, that'll be good for him if he can. And we've got our slammers out in the field. Nimzo has yet to finish his T2, and he looks like he's a fair way off it. Although it is coming up pretty fast now. He's got a lot of fabs building that. Only 8 fabs building it. I mean, ridiculous. Clopse could push out here, I think. He's got to be careful of the air game, though. That's what he needs to ensure that he has, his air superiority. And so far, he is running a little rampant around the planet here, picking off some fabricators with his bombers, which is really nice to see. Does need to shore up his front lines, though. These docks and these sparks are relentless. More fabs going to get taken out here. It's not exactly what Clopse wants. And somehow managing to skirt past the slammers. And the bombers, no one's run. Ugh, there we go. Respond to that, Clopse. You're better than this. Ooh. Fabber out in the middle desert there. Is ignored by Nimzo. 2 of them. Going to get a little bit of expansion there. Nice, nice, nice. Take the opportunity while it lasts. Why not? Clopse got this factory still over here as well. Again, producing a fabricator. He is not going away without a fight. That is for sure. He's getting his ghillies out now as well. The 3rd one coming off the factory. Nimzo, though, looks like a balance of 4 slammers to 1 ghillie, generally speaking. Not a whole lot in the way of the air game here. Just interesting. The bomber's not nice. You need some spinners in there, sir. And don't lose the air game to it, that's for sure. Need a vehicle factory now. And still he builds air fabricators, and he's stalling power. Oh, that was very fortunate that he managed to take out that bomber. But yeah, he's stalling power, and he's still building air fabricators. What on earth for? Nimzo now moving in with tanks that he's got from the other side of the planet there, the rear. Can he make this happen? Clopse has got the smaller army now. More fabricators for sure, but fewer factories. And still no air support for this T2. That will be his downfall, I reckon. Coming around the back here with these slammers. This could make a dent. There's 6 mechs up for grabs here. Just got to do it before the bombers finish him off. He's in sight of the airfabs now. The airfabs will go down again. Traded once more. Get some vehicles, Clopse. You need them. God, that's a heavy assist out of that T2 factory. For the low-level players, generally what you tend to do is just build one T2 factory at the moment and then just power it out, assisting with builders, fabricators or commander. Ooh. This could be crucial here. Can Clopse make this trade happen? He's got to get his ghillies to the back of his line. He's got a few on the front lines there now. Nimzo backing off a little bit. Realises he's out of options on that particular front. Coming in for another, trying his luck. If he can take out these fabricators, that'll slow down Clopse's production even further. Does Clopse know it's a thing? I don't think he does. He doesn't have radar. And even if he did, he didn't have the power to see this happening. So now he's got to divert his forces once more. He's got his commander in the middle of his base not responding to these vehicles. And his commander, instead of building power generators, is still assisting out the air factory. This is the most bizarre play. He's banking on the fact that he is constantly counter-raiding Nimzo, which he's doing really rather well now. All of these sparks on the rear of the planet have raided Nimzo pretty much back to his initial ring, as it were. Which is quite something to behold. These sparks doing a really good job. Nimzo kind of having to respond in all sorts of different places here. Can't make his mind up as to where, really. He's got his units out the front that are slowly meandering towards Clopse's base, and we've got these bombers here now finally responding to the slammers on the other side of the planet, but not after he loses a metal. Down it goes. More coming in there. Will he lose the Galata as well? That could be pretty handy. He will. Clopse there can easily just tell those units to split up, and that will slow down the bombing completely. It's all going to hinge on these armies here. Clopse knows, I think, that Nimzo doesn't want to push in with his air necessarily because of the defender's advantage. He does. Very, very brazen indeed. Clopse has to keep his army alive here, otherwise it's game. If this army falls, it's game, and he's got a load of ghillies on the front lines facing off against that army there. Cover the line goes in the opposite direction. Now he's coming in single file. Not what he wants to do. That move command could well be his downfall. One well-placed Uber cannon here could make all the difference. Will he get it? The commander too slow to chase those slammers as they circle the base now. All the fabricators are gone, and the slammer's still running amok in his base. His factory's down. His ghillies just about getting view of them to pick them off slowly, but he's lost his base. That really is the GG there. He was stalling on power all game, and that really was the problem. If only he got his power in check. Nimzo now counter-raiding in a few other positions, but for the most part, Clopse's mechs is still intact. He does have an opportunity to rebuild. Nimzo's army is large, yes, but a lot of that, don't forget, are interceptors. Almost a third of his army, a quarter rather, is interceptors. A lot of it is going to be docks that are kind of spread out here, there, and everywhere. He GG's out. Realises that's about it. Not a lot he can do there, and I might be tempted to agree. That stall was very, very unfriendly. But hey ho. Well, thank you very much for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed. And I hope you're enjoying the slightly more frequent uploads that I'm giving you at the moment. I don't know how long I can sustain and maintain this pace. As long as people keep sending in replays, I can keep having PA on my mind and doing casts in this time of lockdown and isolation. Until the next time, folks, I've been Marshall, and have a good one.